How has the state of the economy affected you personally?
Hmm. Well, it's been a source of debate during election years. Uh, and not that I don't believe in a recession or anything like that, but I kind of feel like Hammond, Louisiana has been kind of isolated from it in large degrees. Like, yeah, there are, I mean, there's obviously that people are like looking for jobs and stuff like that, but I don't see in Hammond, as outside of um, Bobby Jindal and his crusade to cut all funding to higher education and Medicare, but I kind of feel like Hammond is not feeling the brunt of it as places like California did a few years ago. Um, and that may be just because in my own little world, living on campus, like I'm just not exposed
Right.
to that. Um, but I guess the biggest, I mean, living on campus, the biggest part that that hasn't affected me has been Bobby Jindal, like refusing to cut money from anywhere else in the budget but higher education. And like my dad works for the university, and so like that's affected like his uh, like job security in general.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like they cut people, you know, every semester basically. So it's like when are they going to cut him? So um, by association, that affects me a lot
Right.
uh, because since he works for the university, I get a dependent waiver in tuition from that. So like he were to lose his job, I'd no longer get that. Then I'd have to take out a loan.
Right.
So it's almost like it hasn't really hit me yet, but there's this impending doom
Right.
that it's like waiting to fall, and I'm about to graduate, so I'm kind of escaped that. But then like my younger brother is just a sophomore, so that's still on the table for him.
Is that the general atmosphere that you find on the university? Is this impending doom, at least amongst professors and employees?
I mean, they joke about it. Like I know that like it's become. At least I feel like some people they will joke about it, and make light of it, but um, I can only imagine that. I'm like I don't know for certain, but I can only imagine that in a situation like that, you would just be afraid if you didn't have tenure. But even if you do have tenure, if they cut your department,
Right.
like, I mean, doesn't matter. So, and so it seems like it's kind of died down a little bit. Like I feel like last semester and the semester before that, like it was starting to get really, really, not violent, but like almost kind of like that revolutionary atmosphere. Like they cut French department, and they're like, oh, who's next? And they had this whole list of like, like basically blacklisted departments that are about to get cut, and like, I feel like something bad was gonna happen, but it seems to kind of look like kind of ameliorated a little bit. But I mean, who knows? Like, there was a beginning of January that they had to cut like, I don't want to misquote the number, but it was like another like $1 billion or something from education,
Mm-hmm.
and like they keep if you're supposed to only cut the budget at like the biannual budgetary meetings, and then they have like mid-year cuts every year. Like there's absolutely no security in like, oh, we can wait it out 2 years. So because if they can do a mid-year cut, then like it's like it doesn't matter that the
Right.
meetings are every 2 years. So yeah, there probably is that kind of. I mean, I would be worried. Not to scare anybody, but.
Do you think, is that all illusory, or are we just kind of recovering from the effect of this really powerful fright where, like you said, there was that list that went around where you had some 20-something departments on the chopping block, and then now it's all of a sudden that's all gone, and so we're kind of in a lull.
Mm-hmm.
And are you expectant of the return of that kind of revolutionary moment you talked about?
I mean, it could happen. Like I said, with those mid-year cuts, like, if they cut, like, more money from the education budget, then that affects Southeastern, and they will have to do more cuts, so that list of the departments that they were thinking about cutting is going to come back up. But in the same way, I feel like it also served as kind of a like a fire under all the departments to kind of get everybody to start working in tip-top shape, so that their department wouldn't get cut.
Right.
And so, if that were to come, it might be harder a second time to find departments that really are doing substandard quality.
Right.
Because I mean, like, a lot of them are really close to being cut, and so if you don't want that to happen, then you're gonna change stuff. At least that's what I'd imagine. Like, I'm only involved really in one department. But if I were them, like, I would like, these are the problems they had with us. This is why they're gonna cut us. We're gonna take it so next time they want to cut somebody, we're not gonna be on their list.
Right.
So, and I don't like to believe that Southeastern's administration is malicious at all. Like, Bobby Jindal is malicious.
Right.
But, so I wouldn't want to say that, like, Southeastern's administration would want to use it as kind of like a fear, like,
Right.
tactic. Because, I mean, they could be used as a fear tactic. That's like, hey, you know, get in line, or, you know, we're going to cut your department. Or maybe they are doing that, you know, who knows.